Hello, my name is Edwin from the Open Design Festival, and with me today I have a special guest, Richard Perez, from the Hasso Plattner Institute of Design Thinking at the University of Cape Town. Richard is a great champion of innovation and creativity, and more focusing on design thinking. Richard, why is it important to integrate creativity into Africa's education system?
We are training and exposing people back to their natural creativity, and we're finding that there's a huge demand at the moment for organizations, whether you're a startup or a corporate, to be more innovative and more creative in the work that they do. And in some ways we're spending a lot of time unlearning and relearning, and people come here wanting to unlock their inner creativity. And if we can have an educational system that holds that creativity right the way from preschool through to secondary education, through to university, then we wouldn't need to exist. So that's why I think it's so important to try and have that thread throughout your academic career.
Well, in regard to that, if we could start putting these skills, design thinking and creativity, right from the basic education, what would be the future of business be like?
What's very important is at an early age to build that confidence, so that when we leave school, it's not a need to go to university to get an education, to get a job. We have the confidence to actually build our own organizations, our own company, and so you may not need to go to a university to get a degree.
What value can creativity add to building a prosperous value chain?
The need for creativity will always exist, and I think we as human beings are naturally creative. Some of us go through a career where it is reinforced, so be it graphic design or industrial design, architecture. But a lot of us go into an environment where it's not practiced, so it would be a more sort of traditional, maybe the sort of more medicine, sciences, accounting.
It's more of spontaneous methods and ways of trying different things.
What I do know is that we would be in an environment where there'll be a lot more experimentation and exploration, which can only lead to prosperous solutions, because we're trying new things, we're experimenting, always pushing the barrier. Yeah.
When you look at Africa today, what do you think are one of the biggest impediments to the growth or to innovation to really happen?
Educational system is a critical part, that we need to reinforce and promote creative thinking and creative problem solving right the way through the educational system. From early childhood development right way through to secondary education, and then carry it through into undergraduate and postgraduate work, so that we are constantly reinforcing our natural ability as human beings to be creative.
Richard, if you could only work on one project for a year to transform the business industry or the creative sector using design thinking, what would that be?
I think the focus would be around the policymakers. It would be working with the policymakers to expose them to the value that creative thinking and design-led thinking can have on a country and an economy, so that one can start to build in this creative thinking into education, into the way governments do work. If you create the demand for it, then the supply will sort itself out. And I think from my experience being in the design industry, that there is plenty supply, but the demand for creativity and creative thinking isn't there, or they don't know how to procure it. They don't know how to